Hello, welcome to the Manic Pixie Dream Vlog. I am your host, Caroline Georges. Welcome. So, today I wanted to talk more about why I'm not dating. And one of the reasons that I forgot to mention as to why I'm not dating is because there are guys that want to date me. That is what I think that's the number one reason why I'm not dating. I am such a fucking mess that it's funny. I think it's funny how big of a mess I am. I find it, maybe it's just, this is derangement, but it's crazy that I actually love my life because of how just exuberantly fucked up it is. And how high functioning I am and how fucked up my life is and stuff. So, but it's just, the number one reason I'm not dating right now is because guys still want to date me. No matter, even though I'm broadcasting on YouTube, like, don't date me. I am not dating material. I am not, and it makes me feel bad. I mean, of course it makes me feel bad. I would love to be the kind of girl that you can bring home to mom. But if you bring me home to mom, she's going to have to ask me what I do for a living, you know? So, I'm not really the kind of girl that you can bring home to mom right now, you know? And so, I think that the guys that want to date me are narcissists. Seriously, I think it's narcissism. I think it's total narcissism why a man would want to date a crazy fucking stripper who makes vlogs about being a crazy fucking stripper, you know? And if you're watching this and you want to date me, shame on you. Shame. You should be ashamed of yourself. I was raped. I was fucking raped, dude. I just need to wallow in that for a while, you know? Sorry. I can't. Okay. Narcissists are people that are just obsessed with their own self-image and how they look to other people. So if you do anything to threaten their image of themselves, you will be abused. You will be affected by them emotionally, physically, verbally, or whatever. Narcissists don't deal with people that threaten their image of themselves. And it doesn't matter if that person is a good person or a bad person. If they are a threat to a narcissist's self-image, they are a bad person. They are an evil person. They are not to be trusted. They need to go because they are a threat to a narcissist's self-image. And so, because narcissists are cowardly people. Narcissists are kind of the worst kind of people. You know, I've totally fallen into narcissism, and I've never liked myself more because of it, and it's never brought anything good into my life, and I choose, I think what I've learned from, dealing with narcissists, honestly, I've met more narcissists at church than I have, most other places. I've met more narcissists at church than I have at art school, so it's really just people can practice narcissism wherever they go. And I think that people, and I think, going into Christianity, I think a lot of narcissists become religious because religion brings a lot of, good reflection on them. And, but I think narcissists, what they feel brings a good reflection on them is that they can change somebody, or they can be the cure to somebody's, madness. And how that's affected me, I know, is that, I've started to fail, meeting a narcissist's needs, and I stopped being the person the narcissist needed me to be to make the image that they have of themselves true, and to prove the image that they have of themselves true. I stopped serving that purpose, and I got abused. And and it's amazed me I thought, guys, you know, like, hey, like, I've been abused before, I've been sexually assaulted before, you know, that's not been a deterrent to stop people from abusing me. Not even that's been a deterrent in stopping people from abusing me. That's never brought mercy from abusive people. Just the knowledge that I've been abused before. And maybe that doesn't really have anything to do with narcissism, but I mean it does, because that is how evil narcissists are. That it doesn't matter to them that you were abused, because you're failing to be the person that they are demanding you to be for them. They're going to abuse you more. Narcissists seek out weak people, because weak people will succumb and serve to prop up this person's self-image. And I've just been hurt a lot. I've just been hurt a lot. And it would just be nice for me to have platonic relationships with men right now. I think those are, would be really healthy for me. I mean, they wouldn't be really healthy for me, because I just don't think men see me that way. And I wish I could be the kind of person that had male friendships that weren't, without just, like, I could be with a male friend but not be like, oh, he has a boner. I can tell. I can tell he has a boner. Don't ask me how, but I just know he does. And the way he's talking to me and the way he's acting, this guy does not want to be my friend, And, but, also I wanted to retract something. So, like, I needed to retract something I said about Louis C.K. in one of my past videos where I talked about Louis C.K. I said that he did something that he actually never did. I guess let me explain. So I talked to this girl once a while back. I worked with her at a coffee shop. And she was like, well, Mr. Rogers is a pedophile, right? And it was like, no, he's not. No, that's not true. And she was like, yeah, he is. He's a pedophile. He raped a bunch of kids. And I was like, are you sure you're not talking about Michael Jackson? And she said, no, it was Mr. Rogers. And so there was nothing I could tell her. There was nothing I could show her. That wasn't true. In this girl's head, Mr. Rogers is a total pedophile. Mr. Rogers destroyed the lives of hundreds of children, and that this whole scenario was going on in this woman's head, and it wasn't true. It turns out Mr. Rogers was a lovely human being who really loved kids and dedicated his life to helping and serving children. And that was a wonderful thing, and he deserves all the praise a man can get. And but to this girl, Mr. Rogers was a pedophile, and there was nothing you could say to tell her otherwise. And so that has happened to me. That has totally happened to me. I've gotten ideas in my head about somebody because of what I've heard, because what I've read, or just because of just something like just fills into your mind. Maybe you read it about somebody else and it gets confused or something. But I said in a video that Louis C.K. Masturbated in front of a woman in his office. And I wasn't lying. That's literally what was going on in my head that he did. And I read articles. It's not like I didn't do my research. I did. But I just filled in the parts where I just don't know how to explain it. But this thing that Louis C.K. didn't do in this one situation, he did do it in my head. And I said he did it in one of my vlogs because I was that convinced of it. And so going back to it, he didn't masturbate in front of a woman in his office. He actually didn't masturbate in front of her at all. He only asked her, which is sexual misconduct. That is extremely inappropriate. And no one should be defending him. And I hate it that Louis C.K. is being praised as being some sort of like hero that beat Me Too. Me Too is a great. Me Too is a good thing. Me Too is helping women. You know, I hope it continues to help women. I hope that, you know, more women take it as an opportunity to help other women and not as an opportunity to virtue signal themselves. But, you know, I was so passionate about the Me Too movement that I've kind of, my life has started to revolve around it. And I should take these situations really seriously. But Louis C.K. is not a hero for doing what he did. He's not, I mean, it's not funny what he did. It's not fucking funny. That must be extremely disturbing and upsetting for women to have to go through that. So, but, you know, I remember when the Tosh.0 thing happened, or, okay, so, like, this is a situation. Daniel Tosh from Tosh.0, I had it in my head that, have you seen The Accused? The Accused with Jodie Foster. There's a scene in The Accused where she gets, it's a movie. It's pretty famous for, you know, for its depiction of rape. And in this, it's like a courtroom drama and stuff. And I really highly recommend it. I think it's really good. And I think it's also like it's commentary on how they view rape victims on class and like a woman, because it's very good. And I think everyone should watch it, especially now. But basically, I was thinking that Daniel Tosh was like starred in a remake, you know, of him putting on a skit based off of The Accused at a comedy show where he was like telling a bunch of his male audience members to go and gang rape this like girl that was in the audience. And it turns out that's not what happened. That wasn't the situation. And the situation was far less severe. It wasn't severe at all. It was just a joke. And it upset one person. It upset the woman that he said it to, and that was kind of that. But then it wasn't that. It was that then the situation became Tosh.0 is playing the villain in The Accused, and I thought that for 2 years, at least 2 years, and I was seething, and I was so pissed that Daniel Tosh was able to continue having a show on Comedy Central after he did such a horrible, horrible thing. And then I learned more about the situation, and it turns out that wasn't the situation. It was all in my head. It was all in a lot of women's heads, and it never actually happened. And that doesn't serve victims at all, because, you know, and it makes me angry because I feel like a lot of really fucked up shit has happened to me, and I feel like no one fucking cares. And sometimes I really feel that way. I feel like a lot of really fucked up shit has happened to me, and people have no sympathy for me, or no empathy for me, or really just don't have time to have sympathy for me or have empathy for me. And, you know, and so when we're creating victims, so don't we have enough victims that we don't need to create more victims? You know what I mean? I don't want to focus on this woman who was sexually harassed by Louis C.K. and put this focus on her that she was actually sexually assaulted by him, or that she was actually, like, the situation was blown out to proportion, creating a situation and creating a victim who wasn't actually that victim. She was victimized in a different way. And so we don't need to create victims. We already have plenty. And so maybe if we stopped creating fake victims, we would have more time for the real victims who still exist. And so I'm sorry that I thought something happened. I genuinely thought something happened that didn't happen. I don't really know how to explain it. It got into my head that he did something, and it never left my head. And so wherever I read about the situation, that my head would fill in the blanks, that it escalated to something else. And I think that's pretty crazy, and I think that's probably pretty common. but yeah, I just, it really bugs, it really bugs me that men want to date me. It really bugs me because I want to be left alone. And I want to figure my shit out without guys trying to take advantage of the situation I'm in. Because it's happening to me so much already. Guys taking advantage of the situation I'm in. And I would just, you shouldn't want to date me. If you want to date me, there's something wrong with you. If you can't handle a woman who has her shit together, then you probably can't handle a woman who doesn't. And so stop seeking out women who don't have their shit together. It's sick and it's wrong. And you're not rescuing anybody. You're not saving anybody. You're just making yourself feel good that you're somebody that can rescue somebody. And that's not good. You know, I've been thinking a lot about the last guy I slept with, and it was just, it was bad. It was bad. He came really fast. It was just, like, I was in a really, I was in a pretty desperate situation. I felt like I was in a desperate situation. I was practically being blackmailed by one of my clients, which that actually happened. I thought I was being blackmailed by one of my clients. Okay, so this is what happened. I had this client for a while. He never wanted to do dances, but he just wanted to sit with me and talk. And he would give me $300, $400 just to sit with him and talk. He would come in about once a week. He and I would hang out. He would sit with me. We would talk. He would tell me how beautiful I am. He would tell me about how he wants to take me on all these vacations. He'd tell me about how he wants to take me shopping. He would invite me to come visit him at where he worked and stuff. And it was just like, okay, that's great. But he was like this old guy. Like I wasn't like, okay, like, thanks for the money, thank you, and so, but he claimed to be friends with the owner of the club, which probably, they're not going to say they're not friends with you. They want, if you come in there and spend money, it's funny to me when guys come in and they're like, I'm friends with the manager. And it's like, no, you're not. The manager doesn't know who you are. The manager doesn't care who you are. The manager is just being nice to you. You're not going to get anything from me that I don't want to give to you because you're friends with the fucking manager. You know what I mean? So give me your fucking money, you piece of shit, and get the fuck away from me. Sorry, I just had to vent that a little bit. Guys come in and use I'm friends with the manager a lot just to try and manipulate you into doing things for them and stuff. Guys are really fucking sick. A lot of men are really fucking sick. And I see that all the fucking time. I experience that all the fucking time. My view of men right now is my window to masculinity right now is clearly, don't tell me about toxic masculinity. You know what I mean? I've seen toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity is when men try and use their position of power to manipulate women who are trying to just do their fucking job and get money into having sex with them, with these sleazy little ways. You know what I mean? Men are actually doing this to me all the fucking time. It's fucking sick. I think it's fucking disgusting. And those are the kind of men that always tend to want to date strippers. So this guy, he asked me to go home with him and stuff, and he said look, we'll get a hotel. You don't have to come to my place. We could just get a hotel. And I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. And then this guy said, well, I'm friends with the manager, and I'll tell him about how I've been giving you money, and I'll tell him that he just started threatening me, with telling, well, not the manager, the owner, that he wanted me fired, that he didn't like me, and he wanted me fired. And so I was being put in a position where I thought I was going to lose my job because I didn't want to sleep with someone. and because this person willingly gave me money that I accepted, you know, and I was in this position where it was freaky. I was freaked out. I really thought this guy was going to go to the owner of the club that I work at and get me fired for not sleeping with him. And so that night I ended up, you know, the reason why I did it is because it's my body. You know what I mean? It's my fucking body. I will have sex with whoever I want to. And so this guy, he was just the guy I was texting at the time. I really wasn't that interested in him. And, but he came over like really late, and he just came over and he and I slept together, and that was it. And it was really bad. It was really horrible. I was doing it for all the wrong reasons. I was in a really bad emotional state, but this guy was fucking here for it. You know what I mean? And I wonder about him. I wonder about this man, because it's like, he was, you know, he wasn't offering to be a shoulder to cry on. He didn't, you know, come over, you know, he didn't come over with good intentions. I was in a really bad state of mind where, I wanted to take control of my life, and I did it in a way that wasn't healthy. And, my way of taking control of that situation was by sleeping with somebody I actually kind of wanted to sleep with instead of somebody I didn't. But after I slept with this guy, you know, he was embarrassed that he came really fast, and he was just like, oh, so I'll make it up to you next time we do this. It'll be so good and stuff. And we never met up again after that. And I think the guy, I wonder about that guy. Like, how good of a guy was he? You know what I mean? Because he is like one of these guys that it's like, he's like this do-gooder. Like, his shtick is that he's a do-gooder and that he does nice things for people. And after he and I slept together, his attitude towards me completely changed. His attitude towards me was very attacking. He would like, oh, you're only asking me because you need this and this, you know, that sort of thing. You know, he started treating me like a stripper. He started treating me like I was a fucking stripper. And that was really hurtful, and that was really hard to go through. It was hard being mistreated by him and being like, attacked by him. And just like, I needed him to do something for me, which, and he wouldn't help me with it when he should have helped me with this. He should have done something for me. And he didn't, and he was really nasty about not doing it for me. And I just kind of, and I was really upset, and I cried, and I was really upset that this guy wouldn't help me when he fucking should have, you know. And, you know, and I just kind of realized, like, that's the best I can get right now. That guy, that phony piece of shit, that's the best I can do. Guys who want to make themselves feel better. He was being totally, I mean, this is my theory. I think he was being predatory. I'm sorry, but it's just like, if a girl is crying and desperate and in a position where I was in, why are you coming over to her house at 2 a.m. to have sex with her? You know what I mean? That's kind of, I mean, he wasn't there because he wanted to make me feel better. He wasn't there because he wanted to comfort me. He wasn't there because he wanted to be my friend. You know, he was there, you know, to take advantage of me being upset. And what me being upset got him was sex. And I felt really used by him. And you know, and I, like, that's the best I can get right now. Pieces of shit like that. And so I just don't want to date. I just, you know, and I'm so angry at men, you know, I'm so angry at men, you know, and I sometimes, dude, like, you know, I feel like sometimes I can be the most pro-masculinity, pro-man person, you know, because I do, like, I love men. I really love men. I love, you know, muscle cars, and I love, you know, I mean, I don't love muscle cars, but I love that men love muscle cars, you know what I mean? Like, I like things men like because men like them, you know? And, but at the same time, like, I just sometimes, You know, when women are like, men ain't shit, men ain't shit, men ain't shit, and then I'm like, that's not true, that's not true, that's not true, and then a man goes and does something where it's like, dude, I am the one saying men are worth more than shit. You know what I mean? I am the one saying men, not all men. You know what I mean? Like, I'm the one doing that. And so, can you just help me out here, please? Can you just do me a fucking favor and not pull your pants down and jerk off in front of women who don't want you to? Can you just do me that favor? You know? Because it just, like, sometimes it just, man, you know, you really aren't shit sometimes. And I wish you were. For everything that I've been through, I wish you were. And but I'm glad I admitted that I was wrong about the whole Louis C.K. thing. I'm glad I took that seriously. Somebody, no matter who they are, doesn't deserve to be, you know, pinned with a crime, you know, that they didn't commit, even if they've committed crimes that are sort of similar. But anyways, well, that's my vlog. Don't want to date me. I'm a crazy person. Just, you know, look, but be my friend. I love men and I want to be your friend. And if that's what a man can offer me, if a man can offer me genuine friendship right now, that would be more than I could ask for. And I just don't get offered that. You know, it's never gonna. The last time I had a hangout with a man, he sexually assaulted me. So, I mean, I can't do hangouts with guys, you know. They're always gonna, I mean, there are some sneaky ass motherfuckers where it's like they can't get pussy with normal women, so they have to be all sneaky about it. Like, and it's just, like, a lot of those men are male feminists. They're so fucking sneaky. And, I love how I'm like, I could just go on and talk about how much I hate men and just get, like, seethingly angry just talking about men, but I'm not gonna do that. I have thought about taking down the videos where I've mentioned a certain comedian who couldn't contain himself enough to spare, you know, a multiple sexual assault victim from having to deal with another sexual assault. God, I'm just like, I want to fucking cry. Like, I really want to fucking cry, because it just, like, I really wish men had been kinder to me. I really would. I really wish that with all my heart. I just, and I'm dealing with so much pain from men being mean to me that, and it never seems, it just seems that, people view me as being like this dumpster for abuse. Like, oh, because she's been abused before, she has a tolerance for it or something like that. And men really do think that way. That's been proven to me. Don't tell me that's not true. It's true. Men are attracted to women who have been abused before because they think that they can abuse them again. And I have to live in that world. And it's really scary, and it's really exhausting, and I'm really tired, and I would, you know, and it's so hard for me, and it's like, my broken heart is that I can't, you know, sometimes I come home from work, you know, and I'm looking my best, my hair is done, I'm wearing makeup, and I look really pretty, and I'm just like, I'm not coming home to anybody. I'm not coming home and showing my body and my face to anyone right now. And I wish I were. And I wish I were in a place where I could have that. And I'm so angry at all of the men who have taken that away from me. You have stolen something I really love from me. And I'm so angry at you. Like, I'm so fucking pissed at you for taking that away from me. And I'm trying to be forgiving. I'm trying so hard to be forgiving. And I wish I were more forgiving, and I wish I were in a place of being at peace with the shit that's happened in my life and stuff, but I'm not. And yeah, anyways, that's my vlog. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. It really helps my channel a lot, and I just appreciate you viewing it regardless. But have a lovely day. Bye.